Folks, I'm Rhinohorn7 and today is day 75 of my journey to read every single DC comic. I'm going to do this by reading 10 a day every day for the next 18 years. So, honestly, let's just get right into the comics for today. First, we start with Captain Marvel Adventures number 12. The comic, the issue, the story I'm going to be talking about from this one is Slap Happy Magician, which I thought was really fun, but it did piss me off a little bit. It pissed me off a little bit. So Billy Batson, is hanging out with Mr. Morris's niece. Mr. Morris is the owner of the radio station Billy works for, so he's hanging out with Mr. Morris's niece and nephew when they are attacked by someone Morris fired a while ago. So just some random guy who worked for Morris, and he was dishonest, so he was fired. Billy becomes Captain Marvel and scares him off. For some reason, Sissy, Mr. Morris's niece, and her brother don't realize Billy turned into Captain Marvel. This is a common thing. Billy can just turn into Captain Marvel in front of people and they won't realize, oh, that's Billy. He just said the word Shazam and became Captain Marvel. So think, oh, where did Billy go? He switched places with Captain Marvel, I guess, is what they think. They're all stupid. They're all stupid. In the 1940s, they're all stupid, is what I'm getting at. Anyways, Captain Marvel scares off the killer, and Captain Marvel tells Sissy to go on a bit with Billy. By the way, the guy who was fired and tried to kill the 3 children, has zero relevance to the plot, other than being the reason Billy gets a date, I guess. But it's not even really a date, because she brings her brother. And also they're like 10. Anyways, Sissy, her brother, and Billy go to a magic show that night. The magician is a guy named Sorcero who has recently discovered how to do real magic by saying the word Abraxas. So if he wants something to happen, he just says, I will it in the name of Abraxas. 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 He invites a volunteer on stage, which happens to be Billy. Billy gets big ears. Alright. The magician Sorcero gives him big ears as his first trick. Then he teleports him behind the screen. It's very fun. Billy gets butthurt because his crush is watching and he's embarrassed. So he becomes Captain Marvel, upstaging Sorcero and forcing Sorcero to go to bigger and better lengths. Sorcero makes a rose grow infinitely, which Captain Marvel fixes, and spawns infinite rabbits out of a hat, which come together to form one giant rabbit, and Captain Marvel also fixes this. Captain Marvel teaches Sorcero that you can only undo Abraxas magic by saying Sexabra, which is just Abraxas backwards. Billy saved the day, but none of this would have happened if he hadn't been a butthurt dickhead, just because he got a little embarrassed, right? If he doesn't become Captain Marvel there behind the screen because he's embarrassed that Sissy is seeing him get friggin' big ears, everything's fine. He did not need to do that. Also, I do have to talk about Steamboat. Steamboat is Billy's assistant, I guess. Just a racist character. Just objectively. I think you've heard of Steamboat. I think there was something about that on the internet before. I think people know about him. It's just bad, man. It's just a bad thing to exist, I think. Anyways, moving on to Detective Comics number 64. I fucking hate the Joker. Kill the Joker, end his life. I'm so serious. Not because of anything he does in this comic. No, it's just there's so fucking much of him. And this is the 1940s, and I know it just gets worse. But there's already too much of him, and I don't want any more, and I want him to keep showing up. Too much fucking Joker. I'm so fucking sick of him. Oh my god. The Joker is hiding away in some secret lair while his gang does crimes and bring back the spoils. Also, they're listening to baseball in the background, which is pretty cool. He gets sick and tired of being cooped up, so he hatches a plan. He goes to the police and confesses, and is then arrested and sentenced to death, and then he is executed. His gang steals his body from the morgue and injects it with a come-to-life serum that only works if it's used within 15 minutes of the death, which, why does he have a come-to-life serum? And why does it only work? I guess it makes sense that it has something which, it just doesn't make sense. Wow, but how does it work? He died from electrocution, right? His heart is stopped. Does it restart the heart? Why does it only work within 15 minutes? I have many questions about this life serum, but I think it's just a one-off thing that they used to bring the Joker back from the dead, even though they killed him in this comic, so they didn't really need to do that. They could just, whatever. It's all for the plot. Anyways, immediately after coming back to life, he goes and robs a watch store and steals a watch. He steals a watch, and this watch is important in the rest of the comic, by the way. We see this watch multiple times. It's this watch, I'm sure of it. It's this watch that he steals at this watch store, and it appears multiple times, and it is an important plot point, but not in the way it should be. Batman and Robin stop the Joker, they defeat him, and they bring him to the police. But it turns out he can't be legally tried because he already served the punishment, execution. Okay, great. He served the punishment. Right, you can't do double jeopardy. He's supposed to be dead. Right, I feel like we re-execute him. I feel like that's a thing that would happen. I feel like they would just re-execute him. Even if I'm willing to entertain that, he was technically executed, so he can't be executed again, and he can't be punished for his crimes anymore. He just stole a fucking watch. Batman and Robin just stopped him from stealing a watch. The shop owner saw it. Multiple people saw it. He stole a fucking watch, and he has the watch. I know he has the watch, because it appears again later on. And he's not arrested for it. He's not arrested for stealing the watch. So why? It doesn't make any sense. He just stole a watch. Put him in jail. He robbed a store. He just robbed a store. Oh, we can't do double jeopardy. He hasn't been tried for this crime yet. Put him in fucking jail for them stealing the watch. What are we doing? Cops and justice system? Okay, whatever. Bruce and Dick watch his hotel room for a while, but aren't able to see him doing anything illegal. Secretly, he is using the flashing hotel sign to communicate with his gang, who are still doing crimes for him while he pretends he's gone straight. Bruce and Dick go to an ice skating show, and Joker turns out to have tickets for the seat next to them. Joker's gang appears to rob everyone, including Joker, to throw everyone off his trail. Batman and Robin save the day. They know Joker is behind this because they recognize some of his thugs. Joker gives Robin a quarter, to be buddy with him, and invites them to his hotel room. Why would Joker do that? Why does he want Batman and Robin in his hotel room? You're about to find out. Because they enter through the window. Turns out the police are there and see Batman and Robin breaking and entering because they enter through the window. And Joker obviously didn't tell the police he invited them. Actually, Joker sees them on the windowsill and pokes his head out of the window and says, "Hey, come in." So he did invite them in front of the police. So I guess the police are just deaf. I guess the police are incompetent and deaf in Gotham. What? Oh, we're just gonna be fucking stupid and ignore that he stole a watch. Oh, but we're not gonna ignore that he stole a watch. We're not gonna ignore the watch. No. We're just not gonna put him in jail for the watch. Oh my god, because guess what? Batman asks for 1 minute to explain himself. Joker checks the golden watch because he's a fucking idiot. That he was supposedly lost during the ice robbery. He supposedly lost during the ice... During the robbery, he supposedly lost the watch to the thugs. Turns out, Batman's like, "Hey, look, police, he has the watch that he said he lost during the robbery. He said he lost it. Therefore, this proves he is an accessory, because how would he get the watch back unless the thugs gave it to him?" So the police arrest him. Joker escapes arrest, actually. Batman and Robin chase him. He falls off a cliff to his death, and the last panel is him somewhere back in his lair. He makes it back to his lair alive. I'm so fucking sick of this guy. I mean, it's not even just him. It's also just such fucking bullshit. The way he does shit every time, man. It's just so stupid. It doesn't make any sense. What do you mean? The watch pisses me off so much. It makes me so mad. How? Put him in jail. He stole the fucking watch. The shop owner saw it. He attacked the shop owner. Whatever. Slam Bradley. Moving on to Slam Bradley. Slam and Shorty stop a jewel thief. Not just a jewel thief. Okay. The jewel thief runs down to a basement and then disappears. And they're like, what the fuck? How do you get away? Next day, Slam and Bradley see... Oh, he escapes with the jewels, by the way. Next day, Slam and Shorty pass by the store next to the jewel thief, which happens to be a toy store. There's a man getting murdered in there. They run, and it turns out there's a bunch of thugs trying to murder a teddy bear. A bunch of teddy bears. They shredded all the teddy bears except for two. 2 teddy bears are left. Batman and Robin get the thugs out of there. The shop owner's like, "Hey, guard my teddy bears." Slam and Bradley are like, "No." Slam and Shorty are like, "No, we're not going to do that because they're teddy bears and we don't really care." Then Slam has an idea. No, Slam and Shorty go back to their house, their apartment, their whatever they've in. They are attacked by 2 men who are like, "Where is it? Do you have it?" They're like, "Okay," they don't have it. And they leave. Slam and Shorty wake up, realize, oh my god, they were looking for the gem. That means we were somewhere that had the gem. Slam's like, the toy store. They go back to the toy store. Slam has an idea. They fight off a bunch of thugs. The thugs run away and disappear in the toy store's basement. Slam has an idea. They go to the jewel store, run down to its basement. There's the thugs. They stop the thugs. Turns out the jewel was inside a teddy bear because there was a secret tunnel between the two basements of the jewel store and the toy store. And that is Slam Bradley for Detective Comics number 64. Moving on now to Flash Comics number 30. Some guy makes a curious beam. He makes a beam that turns people curious. Because he wants the world to be smarter, I guess. He says that's his motivation, but he doesn't really use it. He uses it twice on two people. And then, like, stops, I guess. He kind of just joins a gangster. Anyways, he uses it on his stupid friend first, who starts asking questions. Then he's discovered by a gangster who hires him to use the beam on the Flash, who's making an appearance currently at some sort of pep rally. And he wants him to use it on the Flash, because if the Flash is super curious and distracted, then he won't be stopping crime, will he? So the Flash gets hit with the beam, and becomes incredibly curious, allowing crime to run free. Joan Carter, the Flash's love interest, this is Jay Garrick the Flash, by the way, Joan approaches him while he's at the library, yelling at him to stop researching and go back to crime fighting, but he's too distracted by the animal facts in the book. Oh, look who's beside them, also distracted by the animal facts in the book. It's the stupid guy from the laboratory from before. Guess what? The stupid friend is in there too, and he ends up revealing the existence of the Ray, because Joan's like, hey, how did this happen to you? And Jay's like, I don't know. And the stupid guy's like, oh, my friend made a machine that makes you curious. Pretty cool, right? So, Jay, despite being curious, goes to investigate the Ray, interested in how it works. Not because he wants to stop himself from being curious, but because he's so curious, he needs to know how the machine works. So he takes it apart and puts it back together while the guy who made it is there, by the way. He's watching his machine getting taken apart at supersonic speeds. Jay Garrick puts it back together incorrectly, so it now does a different thing, because he misses some parts, I guess. So when he accidentally turns it on, it shoots the person who invented it, and acts as a truth ray now. I guess forgetting a few parts and not knowing how to put it back together somehow makes it a completely different ray. I don't think that's mechanically or like engineering wise or like mathematically sound or like scientifically. I don't think that makes sense. But you know what? Neither does the Flash, I guess. So I'll give it a pass. Anyways, now that the inventor is truth serumed, or I guess truth rayed, he tells Flash everything, and he's like, okay, I have an antidote. Okay, I'll give you the antidote. So he gives Flash the antidote. So now Flash is no longer curious, so Flash hunts down the gangster, and both the gangster and the inventor are arrested. I have no clue what happens to the stupid guy. His fate is ambiguous. And that's all the comics I wanted to talk about today. But that's not all the comics I've read, obviously. Today I read Captain Marvel Adventures number 12, Detective Comics number 64, Dollman number 3, Feature Comics 57, Flash Comics 30, Green Lantern number 4, Hit Comics number 22, Leading Comics number 13, Master Comics number 27, Military Comics number 10. By the way, in both Green Lantern number 4 and Captain Marvel Adventures 2, Captain Marvel and Green Lantern join the army. That is actually the entirety of Green Lantern number 4. It is one story, like 70 pages of Green Lantern just joining the army. And it sucks. Captain Marvel Adventures has one story where he joins the army. Anyways, that's it for today, I believe. Welcome back to daily videos. I actually really like this format way more than weekly. Weekly sucks. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Goodbye, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!